Against the odds always being stacked against me, and after hunting for Hot Wheels hundreds of times and visiting multiple different stores this year, I have officially transcended. Earning my own personal badge of honour and reaching the highest level that any Hot Wheels collector can achieve. And that's because I finally managed to beat the employee resellers and found a super treasure hunt out in the wild. This video is not your usual YouTube staged pay-to-win Hot Wheels fake dream that I see being sold to you guys as something that it's not. This video is 100% a work of non-fiction. So join me and let's go out hunting for Hot Wheels as I found loads of cool new pieces to add into my collection. Let's also open some cars together and I'll tell you the insanely lucky story of how I was in the right place at the right time to finally find my first super treasure hunt. I wanted to travel a lot further from home this week and visit a Smyths toys that I've never been to before. And as you can see here, there were loads of mainlines, premiums, and even a few team transports in this store that would have been taken immediately if they were in the Smyths nearest to my house. The Honda Accord Team Transport is only seeded once into a sealed case of 4 products, which is why it's super lucky to see 3 of these still hung up and hiding in the back. There are still so many Porsche and Greddy collector display sets sadly warming the shelves of every Smyths Toys Superstore across the UK. This really cool Zamac box set looks great, but there's no way that it's $23.99 great. So all UK collectors should definitely wait until this product goes on sale, as I guarantee that this one won't be flying off the shelves as that's super expensive for just 6 cars. I'm primarily here to go through all of the mainline basic cars, and after checking through everything here, I'm really happy that I found these 4 beauties, which are absolute must-haves for any collector, and you've got to be extremely lucky to find 2 of these Liberty Walk Nissan Skylines and 2 of the rolling metal Zamac style Shelbys, which you guys must pick up as these things look amazing. And yes, before you accuse me of making a mess, you'll be very pleased to see that I did tidy up after myself. Smyths Toys sell Hot Wheels for £1.69 a piece, which means that I paid a total of £13.52 for these hard to find 8 must-haves from a 2024 L and K case. Let's crack open a Liberty Walk 2000 GTR first, as I'm sure that not all of you guys would have noticed that the colour used on this release and the car's livery design will also appear on this LB Silhouette 35 GT RR casting, which is from the 2024 P case. This version of the Liberty Walk 2000 GTR has a really nice light grey plastic base, and it's always great to see when Hot Wheels gift the headlights with some well-deserved tampos too. Hot Wheels first released this casting back in 2022. This light grey model is the 3rd version and perhaps doesn't look as nice as the original release, which looks like this. And if you've watched my previous Hot Wheels hunting video, you'll remember that I was sent this car for free by an awesome online retailer. This blue mainline 2000 GTR shown here also has a premium version, which is part of Team Transport and is release number 69. Nice, and looks like this. Next up, this visit to ASDA proves a point, as anyone who watched my previous upload will remember that last week this store, which is the UK's version of Walmart, did not have a full set of Boulevards in stock. So make sure you're out hunting as often as you can to make sure that you have the best chance of finding new cars just like these ones out in the wild. I have a full set of 5 Boulevard cars on pre-order already, which means that I will just be taking the top 3 home with me to open in just a moment, so make sure that you stick around for that as these releases look absolutely amazing. Nothing to report from the mini dump bins, and if I didn't have these two already in my collection, then these cars and this Hot Wheels treasure hunt would be very solid pickups, but I'll just be leaving all of these behind today for another collector. Sadly, premium prices in the UK are ridiculous, so I had to pay a total of £27 for these three. I really wish UK prices were more like £6 to £7 per premium car, as that seems a lot more reasonable. Although, also yes, it really is hard to care much at all about money when you can see how awesome and desirable all three of these Hot Wheels are for any collector. I already have an unopened full set of all 5 Boulevard cars numbers 96 to 100, which I purchased online for less than £9 each. So I'm happy to have found these 3 cars, which will now be a part of my loose collection. And now that we have the 5th generation Toyota Supra free from its packaging, the paint on this thing is god tier. And I also really like the design details that went into the racing style livery used on this Supra. If you search online for Larry Chen's Supra, then you can see more of the real world car which Hot Wheels have used as inspiration for their Boulevard release. And now you know the facts. You're welcome. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the number 96 Boulevard GR Supra next to the Team Transport number 37 release, which does look better than the Boulevard version, in my opinion. But let's not forget that Hot Wheels released this matte orange version for the Mark V Supra, which was a part of the Fast and Furious series and looks super clean here in its bright orange paint. This particular Fast and Furious Supra has been a single premium release, featured in a premium box set, and you can find this orange car as part of a premium 2-pack as well. Without a doubt, the Hot Wheels Fiat 500D model is a top 25 casting of all time. I know a lot of collectors make videos and say that this is one of my favourite castings ever and not really mean it. But for real, there's something very special about the design for this 1/64 scale die-cast model car that is just perfect. The number 97 Boulevard release has been gifted the coolest premium rear rider wheels to complement the overall aesthetic for this version, and just straight up, this Fiat is pure design genius. Let's throw this one onto the turntable and you can tell me if you like the Boulevard 2024 release for the 1960s Fiat 500D Modificado, which is the 5th version of this casting that Hot Wheels originally released in 2017. Or if this Golf livery version still has the greatest design for this casting that we have in the Hot Wheels universe. There's definitely a lot to enjoy about this blue and orange version, and whilst we're here, let me also showcase the mainline basic version for the Fiat 500D, which I have only ever found once out in the wild. And this release was also the Super Treasure Hunt car for the 2024 E-Case. I know that everyone is super hyped to get their hands on the chibi Godzilla Nissan Skyline R32, as there are so many other top tier Hot Wheels versions of this casting, and the 99 Boulevard release is definitely one that you'll want to set free from its packaging, as this car has a super cool design feature which I know a lot of carded collectors would have overlooked. If I grab a light, you can see clearly that this casting has been gifted a super cool Panda 32 license plate detail here on the interior, which looks amazing. Hot Wheels first released their BNR 32 casting back in 2019, and although this isn't my personal favourite Nissan Skyline casting by Hot Wheels, that doesn't mean that this Advan livery version of the BNR 32 isn't incredible and is a must-have Nissan Skyline for anyone building an epic Advan livery Hot Wheels team. More recently, this super clean Fast and Furious version of the BNR 32 was another very popular release, as there are loads of Nissan Skyline fans in the diecast model car community, and a lot of them, just like me, can appreciate any car dressed up all in black. Continuing with the hunt, let me take you into the best entertainer store closest to me, which is located within a shopping centre and isn't a store that I visit very much anymore, as even though I don't actually know, I also definitely think that this store is filled with multiple employees who are 100% opening product in the stockroom and just putting out the scraps for real collectors. I mean, when you see this many Aston Martins like this, it's just a joke. And how did this even happen? Sure, it's hilarious to see, but the reality of this situation isn't very funny for me. But hey, with this said, I'm really pleased to see that I can now say that I found one of these Fast and Furious silver Porsches out in the wild. So one of these will definitely be coming home with me. On first impression, you'd think that with this many Hot Wheels on the shop floor, there would be a lot of great cars amongst all of this. But after a good 20 minutes or so of digging through everything, all I found were these four beauties, two of which I have already, but a Hot Wheels casting that I think a lot of collectors sleep on is the $4 million McLaren Solus. After looking through all the Hot Wheels, I left everything semi-worth having on top of the table for other collectors, and even though I did find these two treasure hunts, they really don't excite me, and I will be leaving both behind and just paying for these 5 awesome cars. It's buy one, get one half price, just like Hot Wheels sold in Mattel, which makes these 4 mainline cars £1.80 each, and including the premium car, my total for the entertainer came to £14.40 for all 5. As I mentioned before, the $4 million McLaren is awesome, so let's crack open and take a closer look at this bright orange hypercar in more detail. Although yes, the artistic livery for this version does make this car look a little bit like a fantasy car, the truth is that actually owning one of these in real life is also a fantasy, as only approximately 25 will ever be built. The McLaren Solus GT is a casting from Hot Wheels that came out in 2023. The design for this track-only hypercar is largely based on the McLaren Ultimate Vision GT, featured in the Gran Turismo series of games. Here's a side-by-side comparison between the orange version, which is Hot Wheels' 4th release, and the original white first release, which is very close in appearance to a real-world Solus GT. And lastly, here's the blue second version of this car, which I think suits the Hot Wheels scribble livery a lot better than the orange car. For all of my fellow UK collectors, make sure you're checking your local M&S for Hot Wheels, as us Brits know that this store is not predominantly known for selling toys, and this knowledge could mean that you might be able to find a full set of team transport like this, and I can't believe that I found another 2 Honda Accords today. That's amazing, and after going through everything, I definitely would have bought these 3 awesome Hot Wheels if I didn't already have these cars in my collection. And because these are on sale for a great price, I won't be leaving here today without purchasing the Mercedes and Porsche team transport to complete my set of 3 products for Mix 2 in 2024. Hot Wheels team transport products sell for between £18 to £19 here in the UK, so I'm pleased that both of these only cost me a total of £30.40. Now that we have all 3 transporters and their cars all together, let's unbox these 2 in record time. And if you want to watch another video where I showcase this super cool Honda in a lot more detail, then make sure that you check out my previous Hot Wheels hunting video. The Porsche in this set looks absolutely amazing and is very close in design to this real-world version of the 906. And credit to Hot Wheels for adding mirrors onto this casting, as I know sometimes it's not possible to include this feature onto every Hot Wheels model. The Porsche 906 Carrera 6 is a brand new casting for 2024, and I'm very interested to see how long we're going to have to wait until we see this Porsche race car again. Today's showcase is primarily all about the awesome Sauber Mercedes C9. This is a prototype Group 5 vehicle, and every release by Hot Wheels is straight up fire. Stick around as I own all 3 premium versions and will be showing you each one in just a moment. For everyone who won't be releasing this Mercedes from its packaging, you guys are totally missing out, as the Sauber C9 has a super cool removable part here at the rear, which exposes the engine. I will say that the rear wing is quite loose on this casting and doesn't feel like it's been secured into place very well. Hot Wheels have highlighted the engine bay in a mid-grey plastic this time for the number 67 Team Transport release, and the detachable metal part can easily be pressed back into place like this. I'm also a huge fan when Hot Wheels gift castings with individually highlighted front headlights in a clear plastic colour, just like you can see here on this C9 model. Let's throw this one onto the turntable and you can tell me which one of the 3 premium releases is your favourite by dropping a comment on this video right now. The first release for the Sauber C9, which came out in 2021, is this awesome clean silver version, which looks amazing and is from the premium Mercedes Collector's Display Set. The front end design of the Team Transport version is the best looking aesthetic for this car for sure, and that's because this all black track day Collector's Display Set version with its AEG livery is my least favourite looking version of the Sauber C9. However, I am loving the branded red sunstrip detail on this one, and I think that it's safe to say that in their own right, each one of these premium vehicles are all very special die-cast models for all Hot Wheels fans to have in their collection. Back in London, it's always 100% worth checking this Smyths toy superstore, as I have often found loads of awesome mainline and premium cars here in the past. Smyths are always the best at stocking tons of 5-packs, which you can see here. And after going through all of the mainline basic cars, these were the best 4 from everything that was hung up in store today. I don't need another yellow Acura, so I'm happy to leave this one behind and just take these awesome 3 back home with me. Smyths want a reasonable £1.69 each for a Hot Wheels basic model, which meant that I paid a total of £5.07. And for this super quick showcase, I want to crack open the Tooned Porsche, as I'm so surprised that Hot Wheels went with a massively similar dark paint colour for this second release, as just imagine for a second how cool this model would have looked in bright silver, yellow, or even a bright gloss red body colour. Let's throw this one onto the turntable, as the tuned 964 Porsche 911 Turbo is a really eye-catching and fun casting to find out in the wild. And this one is always extremely desirable amongst collectors, which is why I'm very pleased to be adding this Metal Flake dark purple version into my loose collection. Hot Wheels first released their Porsche 964 casting in 2016, and then this tuned version of the 964 body shape was produced in 2023. Here's a super fun side-by-side comparison with the original Metal Flake Black first release, and now that we have these 2 cars together, I still think that the original Black release looks the best, but also perhaps these 2 Hot Wheels are actually different enough from each other in colour to make it worth picking up both. And I really hope that in the future, Hot Wheels will put out brightly coloured gloss painted versions for the Tooned Porsche 911 Turbo. Back to hunting inside another ASDA, and it looks like someone has already made sure that they have thoroughly checked these 2 mini dump bins, but that's okay, because they have massively overlooked the track fleet products that must have been put out today, and no way, I can't believe that I actually found the 2 Transformer releases, as I thought that I would never be finding one of these. Here's the super cool Volvo, which also looks really nice, but I'm just going to take home Optimus Prime right now, as I've spent way too much money already today. ASDA are asking £10 a piece for each of these, And although I'm super excited to get my hands on this Transformers Track Fleet collaboration release, I still haven't found the elusive Bumblebee mainline basic car, so make sure that you hit subscribe to watch me open both of those products in a future upload. And now, the moment that you have all been waiting for, stepping foot in a random Aldi supermarket that I've never visited in my entire life. Before I even reach the usual area where these stores place the Hot Wheels, I notice these two display bins, and clearly an employee has been working here, and these boxes are looking fresh, placed here on this out of service till point. There are also some random scraps floating around behind these boxes, and what happens right now is that I'm trying to work out which case these cars are from, and as I start to make my way through this row of very neatly packed Hot Wheels, you can see I'm still trying to figure out which case these cars are from, and as I make my way to the back, this white Audi e-tron falls forward, and from where I'm standing I can see a flash of orange, and that's because, bam, Camaro Super Treasure Hunt. You can see my hands are now starting to shake wildly, and I'm just standing there trying not to shout and scream in excitement. But wow, what an amazing feeling. Of course, I went through each car carefully and picked out the best pieces from everything here. But my luck doesn't end there, as today I will be walking away with my first Hot Wheels Super Treasure Hunt and the epic golden Civic Si for just £1.49 each. And as you can see here, I thought it would be fun to actually film myself paying for these two. Honestly, what a great day to feel grateful. Aldi charges the least amount of money for one basic mainline car here in the UK. So that means for both of these, I only had to pay £2.98, which is actually super funny and super amazing in equal amounts. Let's quickly switch out this golden Civic for the mainline basic non-Super Treasure Hunt version of the 2018 Chevrolet Camaro SS, and we can take a quick look at the differences between these two. I'm also now planning to keep this Super Treasure Hunt in a short card protector, and I'll be looking for a great deal on eBay to pick up another Super Treasure Hunt Camaro so that I can open one, as I want to keep mine locked up in its packaging as a fun trophy to add into my collection. Smash subscribe to be the first to watch me open this Super in a future upload, and I'll tell you exactly how much I had to pay a reseller for one of these. There's still more hunting to be done, and this time we're back in B&M once again hunting for Hot Wheels. And how is this even possible? The Super Treasure Hunt luck continues as I now find not 2, not 3, but 5 of the Silver Series Fast and Furious RX-7s. It's really funny to see that all of those Mazda Cosmos from my previous videos are still hung up all together, and after checking for the 2 best condition RX-7s with the least messed up tampos, these 3 cars will be coming home with me. Let's quickly see if any of these 10 packs are worth picking up, as this B&M always seems to stock some absolutely epic older 10 packs, and as we check through all of these 8 products, I'm having to hold myself back from picking up this one as I don't have the silver Porsche, and I also don't have the epic pack exclusive orange Mustang. It's always great to see this golden Liberty Walk Nissan Silvia, and lastly, even the last 10 pack has a fire Magnus Walker Porsche inside. Before we leave B&M, at the other end of this store, I spotted a bunch of 5 packs with this older Motor Show pack being the best one here today. And as I quickly scan through the scraps below, I'm super happy that I found another 2018 Camaro, which I don't have in my collection already. So I'll be grabbing this one and then calling it a day. Okay, so for 3 silver label cars and this mainline basic car, B&M charged me a total of £12.16. One Hot Wheels Silver Series product costs £3.49 and is £1.69 for one basic car. let's crack open the RX-7 as I really want to take a closer look at this Fast and Furious model in more detail, and then throw this one onto the turntable so that we can see a side-by-side comparison between this silver label car next to the premium version of this red Fast and Furious heavyweight. Hot Wheels first released their mid-level plastic base version of the red 1995 Mazda RX-7 from the Fast and Furious back in 2023 as part of the Fast and Furious second series of 10 cars, and in fact this is now the second time that Hot Wheels have released this car. Here are both the basic and premium cars side by side for comparison. The premium version of the Fast and Furious RX-7 has also been released multiple times, with its debut being in 2019. And whilst I'm spitting facts, I might as well mention that the Hot Wheels 1995 Mazda RX-7 casting was first released back in 2017 and looked like this. What an unforgettable and very successful week. Here's absolutely everything that I picked up laid out together. For 26 cars, 2 Transporters and 2 Optimus Primes, which, admittedly, I did forget to add into the mix here before opening most of them on camera, I paid a total of £125.53 for everything you see here, which then works out to £4.18 per item. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel as all of the likes, comments and support helps me out infinitely. Appreciate each and every one of you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and this time I'm sending you my Super Treasure Hunt find good luck your way for the next time you're out hunting for Hot Wheels. Take it easy everyone, and stay lucky fellow diecast collectors.